मैत्रीं भजत अखिलहृजतत्री आत्मवतेव परानपि पश्यत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेष्वाक्रमाक्रमणम् जननी पृथ्वी कामदुःखास्ते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुःखास्ते जनको देवः सकलदयालु जनको देवः सकलदयालु धाम्यदत्त दयितुं जनता धाम्यदत्त दयितुं जनता श्रेयो भूय सकलजनानां श्रेयो भूय सकलजनानां श्रेयो भूय सकलजनानां श्रेयो भूय सकलजनानां श्रेयो भूय सकलजनानां.
I call upon Dr. Derek Lobo, Dr. Narendra Kamath, Reverend Father Patrick Rodriguez onto the stage, our Dean to the stage, and Father Richard Coelho onto the stage.
Reverend Father Director, Father Patrick Rodriguez, Reverend Fathers, Dr. Lobo, who is going to give the keynote address, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, the faculty who have come all the way from Mumbai, and their delegates. This CME has been organized to commemorate the completion of 125 years of service in the field of leprosy by St. Joseph Leprosy Hospital. So, St. Joseph Leprosy Hospital, which was started in the year 1890, completed 100 years in 1990. We had a similar CME which was organized on that day, and I can't help remembering that, because there is some kind of similarities here. We had Dr. Jayan Shetty as the moderator for that. He was not a staff of Father Mullas at that time, he was invited. And we had in the panel of speakers Dr. V. Ganapati from Mumbai, who was the director of Bombay Leprosy Project, who was succeeded by Dr. V.V. Pai. Dr. Ganapati was an eminent, very senior dermatologist, leprologist, a Padma Shri awardee. And the second was Dr. Neelkanta Rao, another giant in the field, who was a WHO consultant. Then Dr. Derek Lobo himself, as you will recall that. And Dr. Derek Lobo was a WHO consultant at that time. And then Dr. Kumar Jesudasan, who was the head of the epidemiology from Shiflim Leprosy Research Center, Karigiri. So there are 4 stalwarts. And we had Dr. V. Ekambaram, who gave the keynote address. Senior most leprologist at that time, he is no more. Now, we have a similar CME. We have Dr. Lobo among that. Others are no more with us. I was doing the MC job at that time. Well, just to recall one a beautiful statement made by Dr. V.A. Kambaram, we have to remember him. Dr. V.A. Kambaram said when he was delivering the keynote address and he was talking about the therapy of leprosy, he was the only one who must have seen the pre-sulfone era giving hydrocorpus oil. So talking about the hydrocorpus oil, he said, those days we used to give hydrocorpus oil, not really knowing how much to give, how long to give, and the treatment used to end either with the death of the patient or with the death of the treating physician. Such a wonderful humor he had. So today we have a similar CME, and to preside over that, we have our director, Father Patrick Rodriguez, who has a special concern for leprosy. He has seen those days when he was here. He always used to make it a point after his service, the religious service which they do in St. Joseph Chapel, and then he always used to go around the ward talking to the leprosy patients. So he has encouraged us. He has been instrumental in this organization of this. Father Patrick Rodriguez, on behalf of the department, I extend a very warm welcome to you, Father. Could you make it fast? Dr. Derek Lobo, who is going to deliver the keynote address, he is not new to us. He has been in Father Muller's during the 70s, and he has been in Addis Ababa. He has been the director of Gramaltis, Shanayanagar, right? Yeah, and he was in Bangladesh as a WHO consultant. He has served in WHO for a long time, and he was doing the reconstructive surgery here for quite a number of years. And I stepped into his shoes. So he is with us today to give the keynote address. I think we can't find a better person than him to deliver the keynote address. So I welcome Dr. Lobo. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Narendra Kamath, who is president of the Karnataka IADVL. So he is our own man, senior dermatologist of Mangalore. Dr. Narendra Kamath, welcome. I welcome Reverend Father Rudolph Dessa. I welcome our Dean. Both of them have been always supporting us for all the activities. Welcome you, sir. I welcome Father Richard Coelho, our administrator. I welcome Dr. Suresh, who has come as an observer from, he's there, from IMA. So welcome, Doctor. He's a KMC observer. So I welcome the faculty who have come all the way from Mumbai, Dr. Vanaja Shetty and Dr. V.V. Pai, who are pioneers in the field of leprosy. It is an honor to have them among us, and if at all we have 250 or more delegates who are registered, it is mainly due to the faculty that they have seen, and they are responsible for, I think, for such a large number who have registered for the conference. I welcome both of you. I welcome Dr. Latish Latif, our own man, who is another, please. He's a hand surgeon. Dr. Jerome Pinto, welcome to you. He is going to be lead the panel. I welcome the press, who have been always supporting us. And today, I think it's for the first time for a CME of this kind that we are going to have a live telecast on the web. So people can watch. They are watching all over the world. There's a live telecast. Well, I welcome all the teaching staff, my dermatology colleagues, and more important, the delegates. So welcome one and all.
May I call upon Dr. Derek Lobo, retired regional advisor for Leprosy, World Health Organization, to give the keynote address.
I don't know whether the people on the dais can see this. If you think something important might come, I request you to go down. Otherwise, you can be where you are. Father Patrick. Oh, excellent. Dean, my old friends are here, Dr. Shetty, V.V. Pai, Jaram Pinto, Ganesh. I am very happy to, Narendra and Nanda. This is a very unique keynote address I am privileged to deliver because it is sandwiched between very important technical sessions and severely restricted by time. I have been given 12 minutes. So I don't know what exactly I was supposed to say. But let me start by saying that 125 years ago, 1890, when Father Augustus Mullo established the leprosy asylum in this campus, it was a very visionary, pioneering move. And it was even more pioneering and progressive that he established the General Hospital and other units adjoining the leprosy asylum. Never mind that the asylum had very imposing walls and very intimidating gates, but it was a very progressive, pioneering move. That asylum became a hospital somewhere in the early 60s. Therefore, let me start by saluting the founder and all those who followed him, the doctors, the nurses, the sisters, the directors, and the staff, for the outstanding and most creditable work they have done for the last 125 years. But unlike normal milestone where we say we wish you many more years, we can't be saying it today. We can't say I wish you many more years in the service of leprosy. I am going to wish you very, very few years more in the service of leprosy, because leprosy is considered amenable for eradication in the 21st century along with 7 other diseases: polio, measles, yaws, guinea worm, filaria, trachoma, kala azar, and leprosy. But as you know, some of these diseases which were supposed to be eradicated in the 20th century have happily flown to the 21st, and therefore the eradication of all these diseases has many ifs and buts. And therefore I am going to talk a few minutes about those ifs and buts. I think the first if is, if our national policies, if our health thinking has a paradigm shift from the present hospital, doctor, illness-centric approach to a promotive, preventive, wellness, public health-centric approach. If this doesn't happen, it's unlikely we'll have all these diseases for many, many more years. So that this paradigm shift is required to achieve those 5 aims of public health, and to achieve that overarching principle that the needs of the majority must have precedence over the needs of the few. A famous quote by late Indira Gandhi. Next. We also have to consider that health is a multifaceted, multi-dimensional, multi-sectoral entity that has several determinants, and all of them need to be tackled and addressed if we want to improve the health status of a nation. At the moment, we are down there, curative health services, with quality a question mark in many places, and affordability lacking for millions of our people. Next slide. As far as health infrastructure is concerned, I think our country has a fairly good infrastructure, as you can see here. You can always make a case for more buildings and more facilities and more centers. But what is more important is that what are the existing centers are run effectively and with quality services and committed people. And that's where the problem lies. Next. We produce the highest number of doctors and nurses and paramedical staff in the world. We can contribute our doctors and nurses to the rest of the world, because if not, there is going to be serious problem of surplus doctors and nurses in our country. Next. We are producing some 45,000 doctors and of allopathy and other doctors, and I think it's a dangerous thing to have more medical colleges and more medical students, because what is happening to engineering and dental seats is going to visit the medical colleges in about 10 or 15 years. Next. Now, in spite of all those things, having good infrastructure, fairly good infrastructure, and fairly substantial number of health professionals, our health indicators are deplorable, unacceptable. Infant mortality rate hovering around 40 per 1,000 live births. Our aim is 30, but actually 3 should be our aim, because 3 per 1,000 live births is what Sweden, Norway, Japan and Singapore have. Our maternal mortality in 2013 was 178 per 100,000 live births. We have to bring it to less than 10, not 100 as we are planning, because that's what it is in most countries of Europe and USA. We account for the highest burden of under 5 mortality. We account for the highest burden of most of the major communicable diseases: malaria, TB, leprosy, Kala Azar, filaria, human rabies, and second highest HIV. And we also account for highest number of non-communicable diseases like diabetes and cancer. Next. And these are the other deplorable state of affairs. We have a paradigm. On one side, we are promoting medical tourism. We have the best of facilities for specialties, super specialties, and this is the type of indicators we have. Disgraceful, shameful, unacceptable. Next. Now, you look at the burden of communicable diseases. India accounts for anything from 50 to 80% of the caseload of Southeast Asia, 11 countries, and 50 to 60% of the global caseload. How do you explain this? I have highlighted there leprosy, 2013. India accounted for 82% of the cases detected in the 11 countries of Southeast Asia and almost 60% of the global cases. How do we explain this? It's the same thing with TB, same thing with the human rabies death. How do you explain this kind of deplorable state of affairs? Next. Maybe there are several reasons. I'm not going to go through them. But once again, I think our mistake is a doctor, hospital, illness-centric approach rather than a promotive, preventive, wellness, public health-centered approach. Next slide. And these are all the things we need to give priority to, not just treating people, diagnosing people, but safe drinking water, sanitation, hygiene, food security, drug security. And then the other things, population control, everything is important. Next slide. And therefore our public health priorities are not just building hospitals,